everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today's video, I thought I would participate in the media freakout tag that's going around. So just before we get started, I just want to say that this was created by Sassy Coloring and by A Pictured Purpose. I believe one of them created it and one of them updated it. So I'm going to put their information in the description box. Please pop over to their YouTube channels, check out their pages, and should you participate, please remember to tag them so they can see how everybody is utilizing their creation, and then they get credit for creating this because it's actually kind of fun. So, okay, I'm going to jump right in. I'm not going to tag anybody because all the people and my coloring friends that I would tag have already been tagged. I kind of haven't really been on watching too many videos lately. I've been kind of busy, so I noticed everyone that I would tag has been tagged and is tagging. So I just thought I would just jump on, do it, and it's really open to anybody who wants to participate. Just remember to give credit to the creators because they're the ones who allowed us to have all this fun. So I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to reference my two journals. This is my picture journal. Basically, I just take pictures of all the pages I color in. It helps me reference some things, and then I can see from year to year the pages I colored. And then my coloring journal, which is falling apart, but that's okay. I'm just going to resticker that. All right, so let's jump in. The first question is your best picture colored in 2024. So I actually have, I actually am kind of happy with a lot of pages that I colored in 2024. I didn't pull out all the books, but I'm going to show you the picture that got the most likes on my Instagram. I saw Christina from Christina's Art Corner. She kind of did it this way, and I kind of like that. I thought that was kind of fun. So I did go back and look, and I can tell you it's really my Mythomorphia pages that get the most likes. I mean, I don't have a huge following on Instagram. Please, if you want to follow me, my information is, I'll put it in my description at the end of this, in this video. Please pop on my Instagram, follow. I usually post most of my pictures there. But usually it's my Mythomorphia that gets the most likes. A runner-up was this page I colored here. And I did pull it off my shelf because I'm kind of still organizing my craft room a little bit. And things are like, can't locate certain things because I moved things around. I forgot where I put them on my bookshelf. But this page here is from Molly Harrison's Fairy. And this one is one of my favorites because I used an ink pad background and I was really, really happy with how it came out. And I think I may have added the moon. I can't really 100% remember. So my best picture colored, I'm going to say it's going to come down to two. It's going to come down to this one by Molly Harrison. And then I'm going to pull out my Mythomorphia because I've been trying, this is a project book for myself. I've been trying to color, a page or 2 pages a month in here. And I'm going to say this page was my most liked on Instagram. And I actually got inspiration from another YouTube creator, another colorist really, who I got their color palette. And I just kind of followed their color palette. I didn't follow their video or anything like that, but I did follow their palette. And the reason that this is my favorite is because this is the first time I actually used a watercolor paint background, and I really like how it came out. This is my most liked Kirby page, I believe, and I think the runner-up most liked other Kirby page. Hold on one second. This one always got a huge bunch of likes on Instagram, and so it's this one got the most likes. The other page I just showed you got really, that was the winner. So my best pictures colored in 2024 so far for me, I'm going to say it's going to be this double page spread in the Kirby Roseanne's book, and this page here in Molly Harrison's book, because like I said again, first time I used an ink pad background with success, so I was kind of really happy with how that came out. Number 2, most colored book so far. So that I'm gonna say is going to be my Hannah Lynn Fierce Fancy Faces. This is a project book. I'm set to complete this book this year, and I only have 2 or 3 pages left to be honest. So this is really my most colored in book in 2024. And since it's almost at completion, my most colored book that I have. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of pages in it, but I'm pretty sure I have not colored this many pages in one particular book. I do have some runners up this year because I do have some project books that I'm trying to complete this year and just focus on this year. But this book is my most colored in, and I'm going to put a flip through on the channel probably within a month or two because it's going to be completed. I'm actually going to try and complete it a little early, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I have the PDF version, so I don't have a cover to show you. But yeah, it's the pocket size, Fierce Fancy Faces, the one with a really long name. But yeah, so that's my most completed book so far, colored in. New release, number 3, newly released, not colored in yet. I'm going to say it's going to be my Mythographic Wild Summer. It was just released. I purchased it, I think, a month after it was released, and I haven't colored in it yet. So I would like to get coloring in this book. I do have it on the slate, for July, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to get to it. But we'll see. But yeah, so it would be Mythographics Wild Summer by Joseph Kattenbang. Most anticipated book for 2024, that is going to be the Alan Roberts Beauty Horror. He has a book coming out with the old school. I'll put a picture of it here, picture in picture, so you guys can see. It's an old school, I'll put it right here so you guys can see it, horror book, and I'm kind of really looking forward to it because I really like this kind of content. And I had a book with some of this kind of content in it. It was from Coloring Heaven. No, I'm lying. Coloring Haven. Creative Haven. Oh my goodness, I always get that name jumbled in my brain. And I didn't like it. The illustrator, I didn't particularly care for how he shaded his illustrations, so I didn't enjoy coloring in it. So I'm actually really looking forward to this book. It comes out this month. Can't wait to color in it. Actually, yeah, so that's my most anticipated book for 2024. 2025 is another story because Kirby's new book is coming out, but I'm looking forward to this book. My favorite illustrator or publisher for 2024, I'm going to say it's going to be a toss-up between the Mythographic illustrators, publishers, and Mythomorphia. So my favorite illustrator is Kirby Rosanes. I just love everything he does. Even the books that I'm not loving, I still love the images. And I like Loam Arts. That is the it's the UK version. I think their books hold up a little bit better than the US publisher. So Loam Arts is kind of one of my favorite publishers, and those publishing Mythographic, the Mythographic Joseph Kattenbang's Castle Point books, I like them as a publisher, and as illustrators, Joseph Kattenbang and Kirby Rosanes. Fabiana Attanasio is up there as well. If I had to rank them in the top 3, it's going to be Kirby. As an illustrator, it's going to be Joseph Kattenbang, and then it's going to be Fabiana. Now, I have tons of other favorite illustrators, but I'm going to narrow it down and give you my top 3. And those are my top 3, and then their publishers are kind of my favorite publishers. Any new techniques in 2024? Yes, the watercolor background. So here is an example. This is Gansey Tambi watercolor paint, and I've never really used watercolor paint before, and I am enjoying using it. This is a watercolor background, this is a watercolor background, and that Pegasus page I showed you is a watercolor background, and that is a new technique for me. It's one that I've been using quite frequently in 2024. I'm still trying to perfect the ink pad background. So even though that Molly Harrison page came out really well, I don't know if it was a fluke that I was able to do it so well. I used the Memento Dewdrop inks instead of the distressed inks, and I kind of like them better, to be honest. Where is it now? But yeah, so even though I had a lot of success doing this background, I didn't really try it again. But I have been using the watercolor paint backgrounds, and I am liking it. So that kind of is a new technique for me for 2024. Finish this year. How many books? I think it was how many books finished this year. I don't really know how many books or I colored in, I guess, this year. Completed any books yet? No. Finished this year. I don't know. Remember the entirety of this question when I wrote it down. So I'm just gonna say, as far as many books as I've colored in this year, I don't know because I'm not 100% sure. Because I've been coloring the same books every year. I have a lot of project books and it's kind of the rotation. But as far as pages go, finished this year. I haven't finished any books this year yet. So let's go with that. I haven't finished any books this year. And as far as how many pages I finished, I did take a tally and I did finish 111 pages. So I've colored in 111 pages. Now, when I post these questions in the description, I will have the correct question for that. I just wrote it down in like a little bit of shorthand for myself, and I kind of not sure which way it was going. Number 8, completed any books yet? No. But hopefully within the next month or two, I will finish the Fierce and Fancy Fantasy Faces by Hannah Lynn. And like I said, I'm going to try and focus on that maybe a little bit later in this month, and maybe I can bang that book out and finish it early. I was on track to finish it by September, so I think I'm going to try and see if I can get it a little bit earlier. By this month or next month, I'm going to try and finish it. Number 9, any coloring book purchase regrets? Yes, I do. I don't know if you would call it regrets, but I am a little, let me just, I don't know if I have it on the shelf. It's not like a really big regret. Hold on one second, because this one I have right here to pull out, and everything's gonna fall like a waterfall and cause a problem. Okay. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. I'm so glad. I just pulled this book off my shelf to show you guys, and I have like a diffuser, and I knew the books were gonna fall. I just put the diffuser thing, the reed with the oil on the second shelf, and the books fell. Thank God I moved it. Anyway, it's not a coloring book regret, but it kind of is. I love Camila Andrikova, and I always buy her books. But I need to start watching flip-throughs of her books because I don't color in them enough. And there are some books where I like the images better than others. They're all cute. There's nothing wrong. It's just really more of a personal preference. I'm kind of upset that I bought this book because I do have a lot of her books that I don't color in. And I don't want to keep collecting them just to collect them if I'm not coloring in them. She's got another one out that came out around the same time as this, and I wish I would have purchased that one instead. So as far as regrets go, I have a couple of PDF regrets too that I purchased. A lot of times when I purchase PDF books off of Etsy, I'm not really looking at them too much, and I think that is another regret. I mean, there's too many to show, but single PDF purchases I'm starting to regret because I feel like I'm not coloring in them, and then they're kind of just mismatched and I'm not keeping track of them. So any regrets I have is that I didn't really look into her book. Going forward, I need to look into her books more as far as which ones I want to purchase. And single PDFs, I need to maybe not really go so hard with them anymore. And this year, I'm regretting purchasing PDF books, where last year I was all gung-ho for them. I don't know why. I feel like maybe it's just hard for me to organize and visually see them when I'm looking at my bookshelf, and I'm not utilizing them. So I feel like I'm wasting my money buying the PDF books. Some books are Amazon print, and PDF versions are just so much better for me because I could use so many other mediums. So it's a catch-22. So I'm kind of on the fence with how much I regret, but it is a little bit of a regret. What coloring book would I recommend? I'm going to say it depends really on your level of comfort with what you color and your style. For intricate and detailed, I recommend Kirby Rosane's books. I really like Mythic World, Mythomorphia. Those are my two favorites. I do recommend Mythographic, Joseph Kattenbang or Fabiana Atanasio. I think they are great illustrators, so I would recommend their books, all their books, any of their books. It really comes down to what you like what calls out to you in their books. And on Amazon, they have tons of samples, like reviews. People post pictures. On YouTube, people do flip throughs. So as far as any coloring books, I would recommend, if you're into detailed coloring and you want better paper to use more mediums, I suggest Kirby Rosane's books and Mythographics, Joseph Kattenbang or Fabiana Atanasios books. And I do, again, this is personal preference on your part, I recommend the newer releases without the hidden objects. I feel like it gives you more of a flow when coloring a page. There's not just a random headphone or ice pick or something ridiculous in a beautiful illustration. But if you don't mind that, then really they've got tons and tons of books. For those of you who like more simple colors and coloring, and maybe you want to use alcohol markers, I am a big fan of Vassal Seiko's Reptiloids. So I actually have Reptiloids 2 out now because it's a project book for myself. And I really recommend this book because they're single-sided images. It is Amazon print paper, so you may struggle a little bit with pencil, but you can base it with alcohol marker, which I choose to do. And I just really love the images. I think they're adorable and they're fun and they're whimsical. They're not very detailed, and you could really just go in with alcohol markers and call it a day if you wanted to. And another illustrator I 100% recommend, for those of you who don't want detailed and maybe want to use alcohol markers, is Matchstick Mouse. I recommend Morgan O'Brien's books. Any one of his Matchstick Mouse books are amazing. He even has another character out, Annie Day. And his books are great. They're smaller, they're detailed, but they're not overly detailed. They're all encompassed in a cute circle, so you don't have a lot of negative space to worry about. They're single-sided. They're great for alcohol markers. The paper is Amazon, but a lot of budget pencils and pencils work. And again, you can base them in alcohol markers, and the images are just so sweet. So these are the 2 books I recommend for those of you who don't want detailed coloring. This is the illustrator for the Reptiloids, and there is a 1 and a 2, and I really hope he comes out with a 3 because it's been 2 years since this one came out, I believe. So, you know, fingers crossed he's still making books, and we'll see one soon. And Morgan O'Brien, his books are just great. So those are the books that I recommend as far as your more detailed books, your illustrators, and then your less. Those are my favorite. And also, I am going to throw in Hannah Lynn as well, because her books, her images are all pretty much like the same as this. Now, I've been focusing on this book a lot. I forgot how her other books are. I don't recall if they're double-sided or single-sided, but she does have PDF books available on Etsy. So you can always print them out via PDF and use whatever mediums you like. So she's another great one for less detailed and just fun, whimsical images. So here's another one. How many colored in so far? Yeah, I really should have wrote these down better. How many colored in so far? Again, I'm not 100% sure. Coloring books, it's all the same. They've been on rotation. I want to say I've been coloring in the same 10 books. And I can pretty much just give you a rundown of it. I've been coloring in Mythomorphia, the Fancy Faces, the Reptiloids. I've been coloring in Portrait of a Mermaid by Sarah Burrier, but I've stopped. I was set to do a page a month in this book, and I'm not 100% in love with some of the images, and I'm having a really hard time with the paper. So I kind of just took it off my plate. I went strong for about 5-6 months with it, but I've decided to stop. Eerie Literature, Magic Jars, Tenderful Enchantments, the Floating Mandala book by Sarah Barnett, I believe, the Diane DeForest Teddy Bear book. Those are really the same books I have been focusing on for the entire year. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like the same 9, 10 books. This month is the only month I actually changed things up a little bit. Last month I was busy reorganizing my craft space. I'm going to try and do a video to show you guys. And I didn't color as much. And this month I just decided to knock off some books and just focus on others. So My favorite colored in so far, I guess my favorite book that I've colored in so far, I'm gonna say, so Mythomorphia is by far my favorite book. It's my favorite book of all time so far. So I'm gonna say this is my favorite book colored in because I've been just trying so much to color in it. But I want to say the runner-up is gonna have to be the Coloring with Your Octopus book, because I really did not realize how much I enjoy the pages in this book and coloring the pages in this book. And it's just a lot of fun, and I haven't colored it in enough, but it is, I'm gonna say, as far as favorite of what I've colored in, I'm gonna say so far it's gonna be Mythomorphia and the Coloring with Your Octopus. The pencils I've used most so far, it's always Prismacolor. I'm always using my Prismacolor pencils the most. They are my go-to pencil because I am the most familiar with them. I have been trying to branch out. So I'm going to say Prismacolor pencils are my most used pencil. This year I have been using my Polychromos more. I don't have a full set, but you know, every paycheck I try and buy just a couple of pencils. Just trying to build it up. I'm not sure if I have it all yet. I don't believe I do, actually. So I've been using these more. So my always go-to most used set is Prismas. My second runner-up this year is going to be the Polychromos. And I have been trying to use other pencils as well. But my most used are going to be Prismas and Polys this year. And my favorite, number 14, my favorite embellishment, haven't really been... The only embellishments I use are going to be the Sakura glaze pens. They're like a 3D ink, and they go really well on eyelashes and eyebrows and pupils and eyes. They kind of make the pop a little off the page. So I'm going to say that those are that is the only embellishment that I really have been using. Sometimes I do use white acrylic paint pens. For those, I'll either just use any white acrylic paint pen that I have. This one is the Ohuhu, but I have Artex brush pens. I mean, I'll use those. Basically any white gel pen. I've been using the Sakura jelly rolls. Here's a number 5 and a number 8, but the number 10, the 010 is my favorite actually to use on pages. This one, it's just a little bit of a bigger point, and I like using that. Or I don't know if I have it out. I don't have, oh, here it is. Or the white Uniball Signo. You can get these on Amazon in bulk in a box. This one was my favorite, and this one is my runner-up. Those are my favorite gel pens to do embellishments with. Paint pens, really, any white paint pen works well. And another embellishment that I do like is I do like the Wink Stella. I do sometimes use that when I'm doing fairies or whimsical things. I kind of just brush it over, shake it up, squeeze it, brush it over. It's like a faint glitter. And it kind of just adds a little pop to your page. So as far as embellishments go, those are the embellishments that I've been using. So pretty much that's it. Those are my 14 mid-year freak out tags. It's nothing, you know, sensational, but it is kind of fun to do. Kind of made me look through everything and see exactly what I've been doing and what I haven't been doing. And it just gave me a better look. So yes, I thank the creators. I thank Sassy Coloring and A Pictured Purpose for creating and updating these tags, these questions. And for anyone that wishes to participate, the information will be in the description box. Thank you so much, guys, and I shall talk to you soon.